What do you get when you get a stranger from a faraway land and you send them to America to learn about Western culture? You get... No, not again. Right, let's try this again. What do you get when you get a stranger from a faraway land who comes to America to learn about Western culture, who just happens to be Wonder Woman and learns to become a superhero to save the free world as we know it? You get... Hi, I'm Troy Bailey, and welcome to the Comic Book Movie Collector's Guide, your insight into collecting all things superhero cinema, from movies to TV to cartoons, on all forms of physical media, from 4K to Blu-ray to even DVD. Today we are looking at Wonder Woman Bloodlines, the direct-to-video animated superhero film. The film was released on all digital platforms on the 5th of October 2019, and it was released on 4K, Blu-ray and DVD on the 22nd of October 2019. It was directed by Sam Liu and Justin Copeland, and the screenplay was written by Mairghread Scottwritten. It was produced by Warner Bros. Animation and DC Entertainment, and is the 14th installment of the DC animated movie universe, and the 36th overall film in the DC Universe animated original movie line. It focuses on Wonder Woman facing enemies of her past who've come together to form Villainy Inc. to steal technology from Themyscira. So the case and disc, I have the DVD version here. I do like that cover. It's not a bad cover at all. Love the Wonder Woman and Silver Swan painted cover. Looks great. I believe this is the stock standard cover for your US, your UK and your Australian releases for 4K, Blu-ray and DVD, which I'll have up here. The spine, as usual, your stock standard spine from your DC Direct DVDs with the title and a nice little picture down here. They all look well together like that. I like it when they're uniform like that, so they look good on your shelf. On the back we just have just all your details and a nice little picture of Giganta, Dr.
You can do it!
Poison, sorry I forgot her name, and Cheetah there on the back. Very nice indeed. As for the disc, nothing too spectacular for the disc. It is just a screenshot, or just a reproduction of the cover. Not a lot of effort going into that. But overall, it is pretty much your stock standard release as they come. So overall, I would probably give this a 7 out of 10. The script and story. The script and story. Well, what can I say about it? I don't like saying anything bad about comic book movies, but this was pretty average. It was too fast paced for its own good. It tried to cram a lot of stuff in and it missed explaining a lot of stuff. It was very clunky because of that. You kind of stop. It just wasn't working real well. It I don't know, too much, too quick, which kind of had me scratching my head at some stages.
You just had to wait for the dramatic entrance, didn't you?
I thought you liked a little drama.
Due to its fast pace, I feel like it didn't explain everything. One thing I found out after I watched it and did some research was that this actually fits into Justice League War, the other DC Direct movie. The start of it, with the parademons attacking Steve Trevor, because it was just so quick and it happened and he was at the island, I didn't realise that was part of, there was like a part of Justice League War, and this movie sort of is around it. It wasn't really explained real well, and like I said, I only found that out till later because it had me scratching my head what had happened. Nothing was really sort of explained.
She may not be your only problem.
As for her origin story, again, not needed. Definitely not needed to have an origin story again. It's becoming very much like the Batman or Superman origin story. Like, we know it. It's out there in pop culture. Everyone pretty much knows it. That is a gripe, but it was needed for this, to explain the whole family breakup situation of Vanessa, who Wonder Woman seems to become in between her and her mother, which makes her, you know, upset and sets off this path to where she becomes Silver Swan. But that was very fast paced, that was very rushed, and it just didn't seem like there was enough motivation there for her to become this evil, bad supervillain. Yeah, it just too fast paced. Wasn't just, I don't know. I keep saying that, but that's what it was. It was just, it was clunky, and it was trying to jam too much in too quick, and trying to fit it around the Justice League story. Like I said, things just never got explained in certain areas.
Themyscira, home to the Amazons. A paradise favored by the gods, hidden for centuries from the gaze of man's world. Ruled by my mother, Queen Hippolyta.
The final act, where Medusa is the thing that's unleashed on Themyscira, that was good. The fight scenes and all that were great. Nice climactic end. The first couple of acts were pretty average at best, but as with this movie, a lot of things don't get explained, and you kind of scratch your head. One of which is, they have Medusa. Well, where did they get her? How did they catch her? Because once she got unleashed, she was unstoppable and no one can control her. So how did they get her in the first place? That was never explained. But yeah, a few plot holes, a few things stretched over, not a lot explained, a lot left up to you to do the guesswork on. So yeah, sad to say, but I'll give this a 15 out of 30. From page to screen. Now, it is pretty faithful adaptations of all the characters, like Wonder Woman, Steve Trevor, across the board, all the villains, from the New 52 stories that DC have. But the thing that I scratch my head is, in the movie, they put her in the New 52. I get to try and put her in the costume that was current with the comic books at the time, but they talk about her original Wonder Woman costume being this great armor that is like bestowed upon the warrior of Themyscira and all this sort of stuff, and yet they put her in this average New 52 costume for most of it. You know, it just doesn't make any sense why you would swap costumes, but anyway, that is the way it is. And Steve Trevor, well, with the goatee and the black outfit, he just looked like a poor man's 90s action star. It was pretty average, to say the least. He's not the Steve Trevor we know. But as far as some of the other costumes, like the villains and stuff, they were pretty spot on and pretty faithful. Looked pretty good.
Giganta.
Bigger and better, bitch.
But for the voice acting, Rosario Dawson, who is a great actress, and I enjoy her in a lot of stuff. Her voice is great for Wonder Woman, but her performance in this was pretty wooden and very droll, very monotone. Just didn't seem to be actually giving the voice anything at all. It's which was really sad, because she can do a great job in anything. And as far as Jeffrey Donovan goes, who did Steve Trevor, he was okay at best. I don't know, just seemed to be no chemistry that I could see. A few things fell flat. And as far as everyone else, pretty stock standard and average around the board. Nothing really to write home about on this one. And as for that, I only give this a 10 out of 20. Special features. Now, as usual with these DC Direct movies, very, very light on the special features. And as for this one, we only have a sneak peek at the next animated movie, which is Red Sun. Again, just a preview of the next one coming up. No behind the scenes, no nothing, which is always sad. Like I said, wouldn't hurt just to put a little interview or something like that on there at times. But yeah, all I can give that is a 2 out of 10. Critics' reviews. Now, the critics' reviews were 88%, and the audience's is 50%. Now, the critics' reviews at 88% is very surprising. I'm not even sure they were watching the same movie I was. Some of the comments I saw were outstanding, great action movie, and I'm just like, yeah, either someone's sucking up to someone, but yeah, that was pretty ordinary. But the audience views pretty much got it spot on. It was average at best, unfortunately, which is a shame, really. But yeah, so if we take the audience score and the critic score, that'll give us 7 out of 10. My review. Now, I was pretty excited about watching this movie, and I'm a bit of a Wonder Woman fan, so you can imagine how disappointed I was when I actually sat down and watched it. It is average at best, definitely not one of DC's best in these movies at the moment with the DC Direct. So yeah, just a real shame. I was looking forward to it, and as I've said before, it's too fast paced on some things, very clunky on others because it kept tripping over itself. It didn't explain itself real well. You had kind of left your head scratching at the end, and it wasn't until I did some research to find out where things fit in, because nothing was really explained. The performances were just average. Everyone just looked like they were just reading their lines at a table read. There was just no emphasis on anything. And overall, it just fell flat, really. It just was just meh at best. Things did pick up at the end with the fight scene with Medusa. We got a little action there. That was fun to watch, and how that panned out. But yeah, it was just average, really. They just telegraphed some things, like at the end there, who the bad guy was at the end. I saw that coming a mile off.
Wow, bless your heart. You figured it out.
And the whole Silver Swan thing was just telegraphed as well. But then there was things that just weren't explained, which had you scratching your head. So it definitely wasn't the best by any stretch of the imagination.
Don't get cocky. You may have saved your friends, but you're my real target.
And with that, I only give it an 8 out of 20. The final score. So if we tally it all up, we get a score of 49 out of 100. A pretty well-deserved score for a pretty average movie. Just disappointed with it. I don't think it's one I'm going to be watching again. It's definitely going to be collecting dust on the shelf. Unfortunately, it is one that's necessary for your collection. You need to have that if you're collecting the DC movies and carrying that story arc through. So it's definitely one you need to have, but it's definitely one you're only going to watch once.
What do you think?
It's totally embarrassing.
Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget that little notification bell to make sure you can catch every episode that we've got coming up. You can contact me at thecomicbookmoviecollector@gmail.com, and you can also follow me on the socials at The Comic Book Movie Collector on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. All the links will be below, and thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time.